What's up, YouTube? Drew here from Pella Cars, and I have been asked many times over the years exactly what I did when I built this car, and I forgot most of it, but how I converted my 3-speed on the column shifter to an automatic shifter. Now, first I want to show you guys the function. So it basically, like, you're not going to pull it down, you got to pull it towards you. Now we're in reverse. But, you know, I could pull it straight down and it hits drive. I have to pull it toward me to go down into 2, and then it can just go into 1. If I go back up, it'll stop. It's in neutral right now. There's drive, won't go down into 2. Neutral won't go up in reverse unless you pull it toward you. That's reverse. And that's park, which of course it can't come back down out of. So what I did basically was took
Are you gonna get this on YouTube?
took the 3-speed on the column shifter. Now what there was a lever here that would move up and down, and then another lever here where you could see it's cut off that would move up and down. And then each one had a fork, like one going this way and then one going this way. And then there was a little selector, if you will, that as you push the shifter, you know, toward the windshield or toward you, would go in this fork or this fork over here, and then the up and down would rotate those. So the fore and aft would select which lever was moving, and then the up and down would choose which way. So there was 2 levers here, one for reverse and first, and then the other for second and third, and then the same thing down on the transmission. So what I did was I lopped one of them off, and I welded the 2 forks together on the inside. So now whether the column is fore or aft, or I should say fore or aft, whatever, whether it's toward the windshield or toward my face, it's in between both of those 2 forks. I then smoothed out my weld so that would, you know, go back and forth smoothly. And then this is the part that's tricky. So what I did was I welded this plate right here. I just made a big old plate and welded it to the column. And then the shaft that moves, that rotates and moves in and out, I welded a lever to it with a 90-degree kind of pin here. Now I'm gonna move that. That's, I just basically put the car in gear, which I didn't mean to do. But anyways, the gist of it is, as I felt the gears, you know, park, that's park, this is reverse, that's neutral and drive. And then, so as you see here, it has to be pulled towards you to, now that right there, that's reverse. And then right here, if I could get it, it's tough to get with my hand. There we go, park. So the idea is, basically I found all the gears, marked the plate, and just very simply ground out park. I don't remember the rhyme or reason to the width of this, but obviously, you know, if you guys are watching this, you're down to engineer your own parts too. I don't remember the rhyme or the reason to the width of that little peg. It might have just, you know, been kind of, it is what it is kind of thing. So I marked the plate as I shifted through the gears and ground out a position for it to rest inside of park and then inside of neutral and drive, which essentially makes exactly what I showed you inside the car. I make it a point to put grease on this every time I do a lube job to the car. You know, I was a kid when I built this and I had a deadline. If I could do it all again, I would probably somehow like encase this. I never saw the inside of a column before I did this. This was kind of my own idea. And then maybe like a year ago or so, during the worst part of COVID, I ended up taking apart a 53 Mercury column and being kind of like, oh wow, this isn't too different from what I did. But this was like my own imagination. It worked great. Jade, my wife, couple neighbors over the years, a bunch of buddies were able to get into this, and it was very natural to them to shift it. You know, people that haven't built their own car, people that, you know, don't necessarily know hot rods, were able to jump in this and feel totally comfortable, which was the goal. I wanted it to feel like a normal, modern column shifter. So, yeah, basically in a nutshell, that is how I built my own Detent column automatic shifter out of an old 3-speed on the column setup in this 1950 Chevy. So hopefully this video is helpful. I didn't really know anything about YouTube back when I built this car, but this car is about to go on the chopping block big time. I never finished any of the wiring that's going to get done, but I'm going to build a completely custom power steering setup for this car. Probably going to change the engine again, do a little work on the transmission tunnel and support. Just a lot of work coming up on this. So if you're interested in this car, definitely subscribe to the channel. And if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks.